Hello, 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 and welcome to Worthy Wednesday. Y'all, I've probably said that almost 52 times. Last year we had 27 Worthy Wednesdays. This year, well, I don't know how many we've had, but I can tell you how many Wednesdays there's been because I like to just do random fun facts for myself. And also, I like to kind of keep up and keep a journal mentally in my mind about all of the times that we have been together and all of the Wednesdays we have been together. And today, somebody asked me, what day is it? I was like, today is Worthy Wednesday. And they were like, what's Worthy Wednesday? So, I shared what was Worthy Wednesday. Anyway, I cannot believe that we have almost done 1 year of Worthy Wednesday, and it excites me to no end. I cannot believe it. I cannot tell you how many times I wanted to stop doing it because I was tired, or because I felt like y'all don't want to hear nothing I had to say, or because I felt like I didn't have anything to say. But almost to the 1 year anniversary, and I am thankful to the Lord that um, it has been by far one of the most transformative times in my life, just because of the discipline that it requires me to maintain in order to do Worthy Wednesday. And I absolutely love it. So, first of all, you guys, I was going to go outside because the weather is absolutely gorgeous today in Vancouver. It's like 92, which, being from Arizona and New Mexico previous to that, 92 is like the nighttime low. But I will take it all day long because there is absolutely stunning sunshine. But it was a little too loud outside, so I thought, oh, well, if I put in my headphones, and I thought, Corey, they're still going to be able to hear the background noise, so I didn't do it. But anyway, welcome to Worthy Wednesday. Y'all, welcome to June. It is the first Wednesday in June, sidebar, and it is June 2nd. I cannot believe that we are already in June. So many graduations and promotions have occurred. Shout out to my niece Anise, who got promoted to high school last week on Friday. She also received the Academic Scholar Award, which is highest academic achievement. Also, I'd like to point out that that is because she is named after me. Her name is Anaje Michelle. My name is Corey Michelle, and we are actually named after my auntie, whose name is Tori Michelle. So anyway, shout out to us for being geniuses. So shout out to my niece and niece for graduating, well, promoting to high school. And I am so excited for her, so proud of her. Also, shout out to my baby, who absolutely rocked her second semester of college and got straight A's. Her first semester, she got 4 A's and a B, which I was extremely proud of then, and I'm still proud of it now. But she was real proud of herself this semester for getting that straight A, so I am proud of her too. Sidebar, she is now a sophomore in college, which I don't even know how I'm going to handle. In less than 2 years, she'll be graduating. Okay, anyway, I digress from that. So, happy celebrations to everybody that has been celebrating. All right, so today is June the 2nd. It is the first Wednesday in June. This is our 22nd Worthy Wednesday of 2021. We've already had 22. Y'all, there are only 52. So we have done almost, well, not almost. Yeah, we've done almost half, almost. So this is our 22nd Worthy Wednesday. Today is the 153rd day of the year. We have already lived 153 days in 2021. There are 212 days remaining. Y'all, you better get to work. Whatever you're doing, you better get to work. As we say in Worthy Wednesday, you better do the work. So, this year, 2021, is the year of me, right? And I have taken it upon myself to use me as an example so that way you do not have to identify with me at all when I am talking with you, worthy women, about the things that I have experienced, some good, some not so good, but always coming back to becoming accountable. However, last month I really felt like there needed to be a shift a little bit from that, and I want to spend the entire month talking about T.I.M.E. That spells time, if you spelled it with me, because I did it to myself. So I want to talk about time. I want to talk about it in several facets, but first of all, present time, past time, future time, and now time, which is exactly where we live. And I don't want to speak about time in relationship to um, things, events, or I want to say circumstances that don't really change or shape how we live. But I want to talk about time in relationship to you as a person, as a relationship to me as a person. So, of course, y'all, first of all, I went to the dictionary because y'all know that I love the dictionary, and time in the dictionary has 15 definitions. First of all, that's when time is used as a noun. Then they have time when it's used as a verb. And I was just, first, okay, I was mind blown because I thought, how can one word have so many definitions? How can it be defined in so many terms when it doesn't even seem possible that it would be defined in multiple ways or multiple areas? So, anyway, there are probably, out of the 15 definitions, I really like 4 or 5 of them. But in relationship to what I really want to talk about and teach over the next month or so, I picked the ones that I believed would help us understand time as it relates to us in the present, the past, the future, and then right now. So I want to start off this Worthy Wednesday talking about time with a little funny, okay? Because I don't know if y'all did this when you were growing up, but whenever somebody would say, "What time is it?" I would say, "Time for you to get a watch." Anyway, I know it's totally corny, but I think it's funny, so I wanted to share that with y'all. All right, so let me give you some perspective as to what time is and how we measure it and why we use it. Okay, so there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. Y'all know that. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So 60 seconds make a minute, 60 minutes make an hour. There are 24 hours in one day. Y'all know that. There are 86,400 seconds in a day. That's a lot of seconds. And there are 1,440 minutes in a day. So you take 24 and you multiply that times 60. Okay. Because that tells you there's 60 minutes in an hour, so you multiply 60 times 24. So that's 1,440 minutes in a day. Now, actually, when I first started thinking about this a month ago, I thought that is not a lot of time in the day. That a 1,440 minutes. I was like, I spend 7 hours, which is 7 times 6, 420 minutes, for example, at work. I'm like, I've already almost spent a third of my day or a third of time at work, or sometimes more than that. So then I really started thinking about, okay, well, if I spend 420 minutes at work and then I try to sleep at least 6 hours, so that's another 360 minutes. I'm like, I'm already halfway done with the time that I am allotted during the day, and I've only done 2 things, and one of them wasn't even productive. Y'all thought I was talking about sleep? Girl, no, I was talking about work. Because sleep is productive, because that is when your body resets, renews, and recharges. So you need sleep. All right. So then I thought, I've already used more than half of my minutes of the day. So what am I doing with the other roughly 650 minutes during the day? And so I decided that I would probably need to take an inventory, which will be part of your homework for the week, to take an inventory of your day to see exactly where your time is spent. Now, I know it seems a little bit crazy. Now, your schedule might be different now because it might be summer where you are, and it might not be summer yet where you are. And you could possibly be on vacation right now. So, of course, your time is pretty free, which is phenomenal when you're on vacation. But I want you to evaluate how you would normally spend 1,440 minutes a day. And I want you to list things like sleeping, eating. Doesn't matter if you eat once, twice, 3, 4, 6 times a day. Calculate in total how much time do you spend eating. Now, here's one that's going to get just about everybody, including me. How much time do we spend scrolling? Scrolling on Facebook, scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on TikTok, reading the news. That, I feel like cell phone usage is probably one of the areas that will be the most scary for every single person, because I don't think we recognize how much we use our cell phones and how often we use them. Now, if you're talking on the phone, that's not scrolling. If you are checking your calendar, that's not scrolling. But if you are just aimlessly using your phone to watch Netflix, to watch a documentary, to log into YouTube or whatever, those are minutes that you've spent on your cell phone, y'all. Anyway, so I think when you check how many minutes you have doing those things, it's going to cause you to think differently. So part of your assignment this week will be to take an inventory of your time and how you are using 1,440 minutes every single day. The reason why I want all of us to become more cognizant of our time is primarily due to the fact that we waste a lot of time, and then we complain that we don't have time to do something. We complain that there's not enough time to do something. We complain that we run out of time to do something. And I have discovered as I'm getting more mature, I'm not going to say I'm getting older, not yet, but as I am becoming more mature, I am recognizing that there are certain things in my life that I am not willing to sacrifice for money, for fame, for prestige, for attention, for a bigger car, for a nicer house, because I've discovered that what's more important is having my time to do as I please and not having it obligated to someone or something or some job or some office. Now, I want you to understand that I'm not talking about your real life responsibility, because we all have those things. But I want you to interpret and analyze, if I were to dedicate this same amount of time to working on the dream that I've had since I was 5 years old, or working on a passion that I believe the Lord has stirred in me, or seeking or becoming a new career because I really believe that I would be good at it. I want you to look at, if I took an inventory of the time that I am wasting scrolling and aimlessly looking at TV or whatever, and I invested that same amount of time into a dream, I wonder how differently my time would look. Anyway, but that's another lesson for another day when we get to that. So that's phase 1 of your homework. So let's define what time is for today, because I really just want to take a few moments and talk about time and why I believe it's critical at this juncture in the year. We are in the 6th month of the year. So at the end of the month, half of our year will be gone. Now, if you really want to do an inventory of your time outside of the pandemic, outside of remote working, outside of this unusual circumstance that we've lived and navigated through, I want you to look at, starting July 1st, what you've been doing for 6 months. Because if we can really begin to look at time as 86,400 seconds, what did I do with 86,400 seconds today? A lot of time, no pun intended, we find ourselves reflecting only when there's a crisis, or only when there's an emergency, or only when we don't have any other recourse because time has expired. So let's pay attention to that. Now, there are many definitions, but I want to go over just the first one tonight and talk about that briefly, and then we will get ready for the next Worthy Wednesday. So it says time is the measured or measurable period during which an action, process, or condition exists or it continues. Okay, so it is the measured. That means I could precisely say, in order for me to pass my driving test, it will take 30 minutes. from the time that I enter and sign in till I'm finished driving, till I come back inside and take my license picture. That is something that is measured. Time is also something that is a measurable period. So, for example, you can look at adolescence. It is a measurable period. The beginning of adolescence, depending on if you're a girl or a boy, usually begins around 11 or 12 and runs through about 16-ish. Okay, so then we're going to switch to teenage years. So that is a measurable period. And during those two occurrences, something that is specifically measured or something that has a time that is um, uh, purposed for a particular growth season, that is when an action, okay, during adolescence, you develop in your brain, you learn more reasoning, you develop better social skills, okay? There is an action that takes place. Some kids grow, some kids develop in their physical appearance. That is an action. There is also a process. So there's a process during adolescence, not just for girls, but also for boys. So we go from a high pitched voice to very low, in the bass clef. We go from nothing sticking out or protruding out for girls in the front to all of a sudden everybody's like, hey, and the girls are like, what's going on? Some things that they experience might be wearing braces. It could be that they get a new hairdo or whatever, but that is a process. And the final part of the definition is a condition, or a condition exists or continues. So adolescence continues. That means it goes from part 1 all the way up to part 10, however many parts there are, and that it continues on. Not necessarily the period of adolescence, but the period of growth, okay? The period of maturity. So time is the measured or measurable period during which an action, process, or condition exists or continues. So I wanted to try to figure out, how do I explain that in a sense that gives us a clear picture of why time is not just important. It is the main thing that we neglect. We neglect time. And the only time, pun intended, that we actually devote our attention to it is when there is a crisis. And this is something that I am very interested in studying in the human psyche and in cognition and instruction, because I want to know why we are almost elusive of time when we're going around doing the mundane, going to work, going to school, going to church, going to soccer, football, baseball, volleyball, track, whatever youth group. But when there is an emergency, it's like the old adage that people say, time stands still. But in reality, time doesn't stand still. What happens to be standing still is me. And time is still going, even though I'm standing still, because what has occurred at that particular moment in my life, according to the definition, it is a process or condition that exists or continues. So time continues even if I am stopped. Okay. So I said, what do I want to do with time? Well, the first thing I thought about is we never have enough time. Have you ever said that? I never have enough time. I always run out of time. Being a teacher, and when I would give final exams, I mean, we had the class for 2.5, 3 hours, but they weren't allowed to use the entire time. So we had to actually block off a section of time, 90 minutes. Okay, let me just be honest. All teachers gave their students 90 minutes. Number one, because we're in high school. Number two, because it is a cumulative final exam. So we covered everything from the beginning of the year all the way up to the end. So we gave 90 minutes, which left a 30-minute buffer for our students to take their exams. Now, one of the things they would say, I mean, it never fails. Every year in high school, I had someone say, Miss Copeland, I didn't have enough time. Now, because I'm a phenomenal teacher, I would say, what do you mean by that? How did you not have enough time? I gave you 90 minutes. Literally, it should have taken you 40 minutes. I gave you 90 minutes. But I would have a student or two say, Ms. Copeland, I didn't have enough time for the test. So then I had to make a decision whether or not I was going to allow that student to finish the exam, or was I going to assign them to come back on the makeup test day and give them an additional 30 minutes to finish whatever portion of the exam that they didn't finish. The other piece that I had to consider is, well, they're going to go home and review their notes, which gives them a slight unfair advantage to their fellow classmates. So what I actually would end up doing is isolating them in the room where I could still watch them and let them use that last 30 minutes to finish the exam before they left my classroom. But I still, to this day, can't figure out why even I would say to a teacher, I'm sorry, Miss Bertolino, or I'm sorry, Miss Bach, I didn't have enough time to get my homework done. And I wonder now, as an adult, if that was really the truth. I wonder if I didn't have enough time, or if I didn't actually manage my time well enough to complete the assignment. Well, obviously, worthy women, we know the answer is the latter. It's never the former. And I wonder why even in high school and perhaps in college, where it felt like you had months and months and months to do a term paper until it was due, I wonder why we say we never have enough time. I wonder if it's because actually the time we have, we waste. I wonder if it's because the time that we have allotted to study, or that we have allotted to begin working on a particular assignment, or working on a task that we need to complete for work, or even baking cookies and getting the snack bags ready for our children, or hosting a Christmas party, or whatever the case might be. I wonder if it's because we've just not prepared. I wonder if we think that time will always be available, even if we fail to consider how important being timely is. So I thought about that tonight when I said, man, we never have enough time. And it made me question me. And this is why 2021, the year of me, is so important, because you don't have to tell me whether or not you've ever done this, or if you've even ever said this. But I began to ask myself, Karee, is the reason why you say I don't have enough time because you don't value the time that you do have? Is it because you think that you'll always have time to get caught up, or to make that deal, or to even get to the place that you were supposed to be? I wonder if that's the reason why, Karee, you say you don't have enough time. Well, I'm just telling you right now, worthy women, the answer to that is yes. Okay? The reason why I have said it throughout my entire adult life is because I have not taken into consideration the amount of time that I have wasted, saying that I was preparing for the task that was coming, when in reality I was not doing anything to prepare. I was just letting my 1,440 minutes dwindle away. Number two, the other thing I've realized about time is we always want more. Just more. I need more time. I need more time. The only place where I don't find that to be true is at work. I don't want more time at work. I want less time at work, but same pay. I'm just talking about me. You might actually love to be at work longer, but I would prefer to be at work less, but still have my pay reflect that I've been there all the time, that I need to be there. So number two is we always want more. I want more time. I want more time to vacation. I want more time to sleep. I need more time to cook. I need more time to get ready. I just need more time. I need more hours in the day. I don't know if you have ever been guilty of saying that. I need more sleep. I need more time to sleep. I need more of it. I just need more. And the more I thought about that, I kept saying to myself, what am I doing with 1,000 440 minutes every day that I could say every single day, I still need more time. Something that's really interesting to me as you look at social media and people who are in business, e-commerce, whatever it is, and they say, you've got to grind, you've got to hustle, you've got to do all these things. And there's a part of me that subscribes slightly to that notion. But the other part of me, when I see other entrepreneurs and business people on the internet, I think, one of the things that they don't ever teach people is how to manage your time. Because that is a skill that you have to learn from the time you start kindergarten all the way up through college. And I wonder if the reason why I'm saying I need or I want more time is because I don't manage the time that I currently have, because I think the way to manage that time is to get more. I wonder if that's how we feel about money or about relationships or about friendships or about things that we don't necessarily like or agree with. Well, the reason why it's not working out is because I need more of it. I need more time in that relationship. I need more time at this job. I need more time in the training. Well, is it honestly that you need more? Or is it that you need to go back and reflect with the time that you were given and examine and become accountable to yourself how you used that time? So number one is, well, I never have enough. Number two is, I always want more. And number three is, time keeps moving. And I think this particular point for me hit home the hardest. Now, worthy women, for everyone who's in this group, whether you are a mother or an aunt or a cousin or a sister, you recognize how fast time moves when you can watch a child be born and then 18 years later become a young adult. Let's just say they're not an adult already, but they're a young adult. I think for me, when I look at this particular statement and it says, time keeps moving, I feel like there are moments in my life where time stood still and I said, I will never have enough time to get this done. There were times where I said, I need more of it. I need more time right now. But the one thing that is true throughout my entire life is that time has kept moving the entire time. Now, there are parts of my brain that I remember what my life was like prior to becoming a mother. But then there's a space of time that I only remember being a mother and having Gianna as my priority. And there are times that I've thought about since that moment how fast time has moved. But then I said, wait, Karee, I didn't say that time moves fast. Because you know how sometimes people say, girl, time is flying. Like, I say that too. I say all the time, time has flown by. I can't believe it. But I don't believe that that is 100% accurate. What I believe we should be saying is time never stopped moving. I needed to say time keeps moving because when I look back over and reflect, I can remember every stage from infancy to toddler to, kindergarten, elementary, middle school, high school, club C, all these things, now college. And all I keep thinking to myself is, how many years did I say I need more time? I never have enough. This is never going to get done. When am I going to get caught up? How many times did I say, I need more time? Come on, just give me some more. Just give me some more. But not once did I hear myself say, well, time keeps moving. Because what I wanted to say and what I did say is, man, I wish time would slow down. Like, I feel like she was just born and now here we are, 18 years old. Oh my God, now here we are at college. And I recognize worthy women, and I hope you can recognize in your life, there are moments that you stand up and you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I feel like I was 20 yesterday, or I was 30 yesterday, or I was 17 yesterday, or my high school graduation was yesterday. But one thing that you can bank on, and this is why I want us to study time and how we are using it, and whether or not we actually value the time that God has so graciously given the entire human race, graciously provided time, that I recognize that time keeps moving. 31, it's 6:31. 31 minutes have passed since I started this live tonight. Time keeps moving. So the question that I have for us, outside of what is the inventory that I'm going to be doing on my time in just one day, is how have I used time? Now, I think you could probably spin yourself into a fit if you went back and analyzed every area of your life that time is applicable, which it is to every area. I want you to specifically hone in on how you have used time in parts of your life that are significant. For example, relationships, children, if you have them, family, your work, and then the most important part, your dreams. Because I believe, how have I used time? By taking an inventory in those areas will create a sense of urgency, believe it or not. And it will further verify that I have never in my life had enough time. I have. And it will further verify that I've never needed more. I've always had the right amount. But I think where it's going to really get you is that you are going to see how time continues to move, because the definition tells us that it's measured a specific amount, or it is a measurable period. See, your life is a measurable period, which an action, many actions, or a process or a condition exists, or it continues. So there's actually a famous passage in the Bible that a lot of people use. Historians, scientists, I mean, obviously preachers and pastors use it all the time. Most of the time it's only heard in reference to war or death. Anyway, the scripture passage is Ecclesiastes chapter 3. But I want verse 1, it's going to set the tone for what we study for the month of time. So anyway, the first verse says, "For everything there is a season and a time, for every matter under heaven." So everything that is on the earth, everything that is in your life, there is a season and there is a time for it. And I want you to understand that we live constantly in a world that changes. There's not anything that happens from moment to moment where something is the same. When you blink and you open your eyes again, you're looking at a different part of the world that you live in. Same world, but now your vision is cast to a different place. So the things that seem more contrary to other things, those things then have the ability to take their turn in your life. So here's an example, and this is the way that I want you to remember it. The day will give place to the night, and the night again today. That's by Matthew Henry. So when you look at time, I want you to understand that when it is day, the day will give place to the night. Does that mean day is over? No, that means day has finished its time and it is now time for night. See, the world is continuing because it moves for 24 hours. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so once night has come, the night recognizes that again, it will have to give place to the day. So, worthy women, here is where I want you to focus. I want you to look at time in your life in increments of 1,440 minutes. I want you to take an inventory on what you do with the time that has been given to you every single day. I want you to sit down and really decide if I have ever said I want more time or I don't have enough. I want you to look at what you're doing with 1,440 minutes. And then I want you to make a decision. I want you to say, have I used the time that I have been given properly? And if the answer to that is no, which it is for almost every single person in the group, come on, because there is no one perfect in here. Nobody. We have not made the best choices with our time. But one thing I can tell you, even though we learned tonight that time keeps moving, the beauty of time is that it can be redeemed. Y'all, let me tell you something. If you have encountered any crisis in your life, if you have encountered any obstacle in your life, any setback, any disappointment, I am a living witness to tell you that time can be redeemed. And what I mean by that is that there comes a time period, whether that's while it's day or when the day gives place to the night, and then the night again gives place to the day. There is an ordained time, because that scripture says, for everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. So no matter what you have experienced, there is a time for that. And that time might be day, where it seems like everything is sunny and everything is working out in your favor, or the time might be night, where you might actually still be experiencing things working out in your favor, but there have been some bumps and bruises and disappointments and encounters along that path that have caused you to wonder if day would actually come again. Because sometimes in the season, especially in the night season, and we use that reference because it's dark at night, we can't see as much as we want at night. We are walking alone at night, because there's no way that I can walk with somebody else, because I can't see them even if they're right next to me because of the darkness. But anyway, if you recognize that you have walked through day and night seasons, your time can be redeemed. See, you don't want the redemption to occur in that situation again. You don't want to live that season, whether it's day or night, again. What you want there to be is a redemption of your time. And the prefix means again. So I again get to experience mercy and grace and a season in my life that reminds me of flourishing and grace and goodness and mercy, even in the seasons of where I feel like, I don't really know if there's any grace or mercy right here. The redemption occurs when I recognize that time has kept moving, but so has day and night. So, worthy women, I can tell you that I've experienced a lot of redemption in my life, and at different times in my life, I have seen redemption. But I can also tell you that there were moments where I didn't know if night would give way to day, or if day would ever give way to night, where I could lie down and not worry about it for 5 minutes. But in all of that, I am learning, and this is why I want to teach it to our group so badly, that time keeps moving. And in order for us to experience the best of life, even in the best of moments, there could be moments that are quite uncomfortable, that leave you on the edge. But the reality of time still moving is when you recognize that there is an action, a process, or a condition that continues. Y'all, you won't be in it forever. You won't be in the day forever, and you won't be in the night forever because time continues. And I am learning, and this is why I want to share it with you, that if we can recognize that time is not lost, time is not wasted, time is not non-valuable because we didn't actually get to do the thing that we really, really, really wanted to do at that time. But if we can now begin to look at time, as this verse says, for everything there is a season and a time. Like, we get caught on the word season. And then I'm going to wrap it up right here. But we get caught on the word season. But the most important word there is not season, it's a time. Because that means there is a measured or measurable period when what exactly is designed and ordained to occur in my life at that time will. And my response to that is to keep moving. Y'all, I wish you understood like the level of just excitement I have in my brain about us doing an inventory on how we are spending our time. Because what you will find, and what I am finding out even more about myself, is that I have wasted my movement because I thought I'd never get that time back again, or I thought I didn't have enough. But I am telling you tonight, if your mindset can accept that there is a season and a time for every single matter that is in your life under the heaven, if you can accept that tonight, you can recognize that your time will be redeemed. But you can't get stuck somewhere and live there forever. You can't make a decision to say, I'm never going to get out of this. This is terrible. I absolutely hate it. You have to make a decision to keep moving. So all this month, Worthy Women, we're going to talk about T.I.M.E. Because it's not just what time it is on the clock, and it's not just when the baby's due or when it's your birthday or it's your anniversary. No, time is how we live. And I don't mean what I schedule myself to do every day. Time is me recognizing that I am on a continuous journey. And that there are moments that it seems like my life stops. And maybe it does. But one thing is true that I know tonight. That as long as time kept moving, I have been able to look back and see where I've come from. And even recognize that where I am now is a result of time that keeps moving. And that even where I'm going to go is because time keeps moving. And that there is a specific, oh my God, if you could understand how I feel, there's a specific season and a time for every single matter in my life under the heavens. And I have absolutely nothing to fear because my time will be redeemed. I love y'all, and I'll see you next Wednesday.